Since our initial idea, a few things have changed. The main thing is that we have taken the decision not to make it a rhythm game. Music will still be in the game, however with the additions of power-ups that mess with the timing of the chord jump mechanic. The feeling is that the time taken to write the music will potentially take away from the full game. Originally, the background was going to be very much a reference to the signature Matrix screen where the green letters roll down the black background. However, it was thought that this was too similar to the Matrix franchise, especially considering the concept of the game has nothing really to do with it. Therefore, we've decided to go with a green and black colour screen as still a nod to the Matrix, but also those colours make sense as part of the internet superhighway. The game will still involve a one death fail system, and contact with enemies and falling will cause death.
As the game is only in a basic prototype stage, only the basic mechanics of constant motion to the right and jumping are currently in the game. However, we have refined our ideas for the mechanics, mostly focusing on pickups and types of viruses. We have come up with a number of ideas for pickups, such as invincibility, slowing down the speed of the player's movement, destroying all viruses on screen, and increasing the distance of the player's jump. The pickups could be static or moving, and could also be located on a more challenging path through the level, forcing the player to quickly decide if the risk is worth the reward. We have decided on having more than one type of virus. This could be represented on screen by completely different sprite designs, or a subtle change in colour scheme, but not one that would completely detract from the colour scheme of the entire game. The effects of the different viruses will have to fit in with the one death mechanic, so poison or something more powerful viruses are out of the question. Much more suitable viruses are those that do range damage or that have faster movement speeds. As we progress through the production of the game, we will add more of these mechanics in as we go on. For the game's graphics, we have decided to continue with using 2D graphics consisting of sprites and background images. We chose to go with a neon art style, mainly consisting of black backgrounds with electric green details on top of them, similar to the style synonymous with the Matrix films, as this fits the concept of travelling through cyberspace very well. I decided to make the email exempt from this theme, as letters are almost always white, and making the letter different gives the impression that it doesn't belong there and it needs to get through the place rather than stay there. I have come up with concepts for 3 different types of virus. The first is a fairly ordinary representation of a virus, and I added eyes and a mouth to give it a bit more personality rather than just a bland virus. The second design is a rather recognisable warning symbol, although I have given it a different colour scheme than usual to fit the game's art direction better. This symbol is very often featured in antivirus packages, meaning it is very relevant to a computer virus. The third design is more often associated with toxicity, but is also sometimes used to represent a computer virus in antivirus packages or other software. This background concept is very similar to the representation of the Matrix in the films. I would like to make the characters glow in order for them to stand out, although they will remain static.
In this section, we'll be talking about the production phase of our project. Here we've created a simple image of an email to go over our character in Photoshop. It's going to serve as our texture throughout the game. As you can see, it's still a work in progress, and we've tried out different colour schemes to see what would fit our game properly. We've been trying to get the core mechanics down first, so mechanically all that our game actually does right now is moves to the right and jumps. Here you can see the code that I've created so far. There's not much to it. Essentially all it is transform.translate and then a direction.time, so it's going to translate in the Z direction over seconds, and it checks that if the object is grounded, and then if yes, it will jump when you press a button. It will give it a rigid force and give it force. If not, it won't. That's essentially all it is. There are still many things we need to code into the game, such as menus, scoreboards, enemy AI, although the AI is going to be as simply as dropping down to try to attack you and you timing how to dodge it. There's going to be lots of things like that still need to be added in. Friction needs to be added in, momentum, things like speed boost power-ups, so it's still a major work in progress when it comes to code.